Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Western Women's Collegiate Hockey League Championship Tournament broadcast. I'm Anita Tsuchiya here at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex, and of course, as you all know, this tournament is a qualifier for the ACHA Women's National Championship Tournament. That's Women's One National Championship Tournament that's going to be held in March in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's run through the starting lineups very quickly. First of all, the visiting team, as designated by seed, is the number 3 seeded University of Utah Utes. The defenders will be number 24, Amel Eichel, and number 28, Alex Bai. The forwards are 8, Molly Murphy, 11, Hallie Hansen, and 14, Ava Kistner. And in goal for the Utes will be number 31, Miranda D'Antagnano. Designated as the home team based on their number 2 seed is the University of Colorado Buffaloes. Their defenders will be number 12, Ashley Rose, and number 47, Lauren Raymond. At forward will be 17, Jordan Bonk, 33, Natalie Ewald, and 55, Mia Fischelli. And in goal for the Buffaloes will be number 2, Andy Bierbaum. And the Buffaloes, as the home team, will be wearing their home whites. They'll be defending the goal on your right. Utah, as the away team, are wearing the dark jerseys. They'll be defending the goal on your left. And we are off with the first period. Of course, these are two very competitive teams. They're close in the rankings. They played tight, close, physical games during the regular season, so I expect to see a very exciting contest this evening again. And right away, we start off with Colorado having the puck in the Utah zone, and finally Utah is able to clear it out. It's going to be picked up by Amel Eichel. She gives a pass off to team captain Hallie Hansen, who loses the handle on the puck, and now here comes Colorado the other way. Utah then takes the puck. Bailey tries to send a pass up ahead to Harris. Harris fights through across the blue line. One-timer, beautiful one-timer by that looks like, I believe that is Haley Merriweather. I have to apologize in advance because these numbers on the dark uniforms are a little bit hard for these old eyes to see. But Bierbaum of Colorado makes a save, and we'll have a face-off in the Colorado zone. On the draw, Utah controls. Puck is still kind of bouncing around, and now it squirts out. Fish sends it back in now towards the Colorado zone. Goldenberg tries to start something. She gets a pass ahead to Aarons. O'Brien in her own zone loses the puck. Gets picked up by McDonald. She sends it up ahead to Goldenberg. Tries to get it up ahead, but it's picked off by Bailey. Bailey gets spun around. I'm sorry, Haley, that's Cassie Haley. Now the puck is in the Utah zone, trying to get it through across to the neutral zone, and gets a little bit ahead of everybody, but no icing. Wallace picks it up in her own zone, tries to bounce it up ahead to Atwood. Puck gets hung up along the boards. Finally squirts out and ends up deep in the corner. Hallie Hansen picks it up. Centering pass, beautiful centering pass, and a one-timer is deflected. That was a great centering pass to Lila Ellsworth, but Bierbaum makes a save. Bierbaum's the regular goalie, first string goalie for Colorado, and she has a .91 save percentage in 10 games and 570 minutes played. We've seen her in the regular season. She's an outstanding goalie. And of course, for Utah, the goalie this evening is Miranda D'Antagnano. She's got 764 minutes and a .92 save percentage. Utah blessed with a couple of outstanding goalies. And I would say the same for Colorado, actually. They also have Zoe Watson's backup. She's got a .901 save percentage. Puck is now in the Utah zone. Here's a scoring chance for Colorado, but it gets poked away, and now here comes Utah the other way through the neutral zone. Murphy dumps it in deep. Fighting for the puck behind the net is Eileen Eichel. Colorado trying to clear it out, but it squirts back in behind the net. Bailey trying to get it away from Raymond. Raymond finally is going to skate it out herself. Sends it into the neutral zone. It gets away from everybody, and so it's going to get picked up by Utah. Amel Eichel Beautiful lead pass ahead to Eileen Eichel, sister-to-sister pass. Oh, but it looks like we're going to have an offsides. And an Eichel pass. I was really hoping to be able to finish that play off, but not to be. So offsides call, which means we'll have a face-off just outside the blue zone, blue line. And earlier today, we had our 4:30 game with number 4 seeded Colorado State losing to number 1 seeded Arizona State 0-7. And the puck is bouncing around in the neutral zone. Finally gets picked up by McDonald. McDonald skates across blue line into the corner, being pursued. She's going to try and go for the wraparound. Instead, she skates into the corner, sends it back behind the net. It's going to get picked up by Fischelli. Fischelli's trying to get a centering pass off, but it's still bouncing around. Now it's behind the net in the other direction. Hansen fights for the puck along the boards. I'm sorry, that's not Hansen. That's Mary Kate Shutt. And now the puck squirts out, and looks like we're going to have no icing. Going to get picked up in the Colorado zone by O'Brien. She skates behind her own net. Bounces the pass up ahead to Ewald. Ewald gives a lead pass to Bonk, and Bonk is a gal we got to watch out for. We know she can score. She is a dangerous offensive weapon for the Buffaloes. Puck is still in the Utah zone. Now finally gets picked up. It looks like that might be by Charman. She sends it along behind the net. Lead pass ahead now to Hugler. And then Utah with a chance. It looks like Jensen was trying to get a shot off, but it hit somebody in the pads and bounced awry. Now it's going to end up back in the corner. Picked up by Sandstra, who's trying to clear it out, and she does. Now it's scooped up again by Jensen. Sends it across to McCain. McCain tries to get something started, but it's picked off in the neutral zone. Ooh, and we whacks the official off the helmet and out of play. Good thing they're wearing helmets. Utah goes for a line change. We are 15-16 in the first period. Still tied 0-0, not too surprising. These teams are very closely matched throughout the season, in the regular season, and finished the rankings, boom, boom, number 2, number 3. And actually, Utah was leading Colorado for quite a long time in the rankings at number 2. And right near the end of the season, Colorado passed Utah. Same thing with Colorado State. They had been trailing Grand Canyon for most of the season and finally managed to pass Grand Canyon that last week to then qualify for that last spot in this tournament. All right, here comes Amel Eichel up, and then puck gets taken away by Goldenberg. And now here she comes. She skates across the blue line. She goes for the centering pass, trying to get it to Nasty, but it gets poked away. And then Nasty goes and tries to center, but it hits somebody in the stick and bounces into the corner. Now here comes Utah for their chance. Nice little poke pass by Eileen, I'm sorry, not Eileen Eichel, by Kistner, but it gets away from everyone and ends up back behind the Utah net. Kistner tries again, centering cross ice pass, but gets by everyone. Now it's going to bounce around in front of the Utah bench. Finally, Colorado corrals it, and then nice little move by Kistner again. But it's time for her to go to the bench. Thought we were going to have a little Hansen to Kistner action there, but not to be. So now Wallace dumps it in deep for Colorado. Scooped up behind the net by Eileen Eichel. Bailey, cross ice pass to Ellsworth. Gets poked away, and then Amel Eichel. Whoa, and she goes down a heap. We're gonna have a penalty for sure. She had a chance across the blue line, but she got tripped by Colorado. We have our first penalty of the game at 13:45. And going to the box will be number 26, Ella Hairston, 2 minutes for tripping. So Utah goes on its first power play of the game. Both teams still tied 0-0, so here's a really good chance for Utah to score the first goal of the game. I'd like to welcome all of our watchers and listeners. Of course, the people tuning in from Salt Lake City, but also you folks who are tuning in from Boulder. And on the draw, Utah controls, and immediately Hansen fires a shot on Beerbaum, and Beerbaum makes the save. And Utah again, right off the draw. Kistner lets one fly. Keep an eye on 11 and 14 when they're on the ice on the same line. This is a powerful scoring duo. Kistner leading the Utah Utes in 22 games. She's got 17 goals, 7 assists for 24 points. Hansen is in third. She's got 10 goals, 10 assists, and 20 points. In the middle is Sunny Charman, who's got 15 goals, 5 assists for 20 points. Like I said, 11 and 14 tend to be on the same line together, and when they are, watch out, folks. All right, we have another face-off in the Colorado zone. Utah controls. 1:45 left in the power play. Plenty of time to set something up, except if they do stuff like that. So a bit of a mistake on Utah's part. Puck pops out. Utah, everyone has to come back out and regroup. Charman to Hansen. And, oh, Hansen has trouble controlling the puck, and so what happens is we have offsides. Charman was trying to get the puck to Hansen, and it actually got deflected by a Colorado stick, and so it slowed everybody down, slowed the puck down, everyone else kept moving, hence offsides call. Utah goes for a line change. I believe Colorado does the same. So now we have a face-off just outside the Colorado zone. And on that draw, Utah controls, tries to get something started. Bailey sends it into the corner and chases after it. Ellsworth skating in hard to try and pick that puck up. It's still kind of bouncing around. Finally, it's going to get picked up by Stevenson. Now, Stevenson is a defender who can shoot if she is given the chance, and she's got a hard, flat shot, and she lets one fly. Stick saved by Beerbaum. Bounces off the glass. Still a minute left in the power play for Utah, setting up the defense. Oh, and Stevenson goes for a one-timer and misses on it. Got quite a few Utah fans sitting right next to me, and they all just let out a collective, oh, when that shot didn't go the way they wanted. All right, now, nice little shot dumped in, but looks like it was deflected and goes high off the glass. Stevenson skates through the circle. She lets one fly. Oh, boy, that one was way wide, and boy, it bounced off of Haley's helmet. All right, still in the Colorado zone. Shutt gets it out to the point. Looks like that might have been Haley. I can't quite tell if that was a 25 or 29. Shutt again. And the puck gets away now. 10 seconds left in the power play. Stevenson's gonna have to go chase the puck behind her own net. Utah goes for a partial change. Colorado does the same. Now here comes Utah the other way. Hansen going full speed, cross the ice, cross the center. She lets one fly. Beerbaum makes a save. Gets picked up, going the other way by Fischelli. Now she's got Bach waiting for her. Bach tries to skate through, but again, we have another offsides. A lot of offsides early in the game. I wonder if both teams are a little bit overly hyped up. We know they both need to win. Both teams know they have to win to advance in this tournament. And of course, it's not really a round robin. It's what happens is each team plays 2 opponents, and then after 2 days, they figure out what who's got the teams with the 2 most points, tournament points, then advance to the championship on Sunday. I'm sorry I didn't explain that very well. I'll try and do a better job next time. So on the draw, puck ends up in the Utah zone. Fischelli trying to center it, and she does. She gets a pass to Ewald, who makes a beautiful play, dekes out down to Llano and buries it top shelf, upper right corner. Colorado gets on the board first at 11:17 in the first period, and this is going to be a hot one, folks. Colorado did a really good job of putting the pressure on, and Ewald made no mistake about that one. Ewald third amongst the scorers on the Colorado team in 22 games with 10 goals, 9 assists, and 19 points. Like I said, Bonk's in first, Fischelli's in second. Then following Ewald, we've got Atwood. It's another scoring threat with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 10 points. And now the puck is in the Colorado zone as Utah looks to even things up. Murphy sends it back in deep. Hansen's there. She goes for center pass. Murphy, one-timer. Beerbaum makes a terrific save. Beerbaum is very tall for a woman goalie. She's 5'9", and boy, I tell you, that doesn't slow her down a bit. She up and down and quick with her moves. A lot of times with the taller goalies, sometimes they're a little bit slow, especially to get down, but that doesn't slow her down at all, her height. Hansen with another shot. Glove saved by Beerbaum, so we'll have a face-off probably to her left. And in the face-off circle, looks like it'll be Charman facing off against Atwood. Utah controls, one-timer by Bailey, hits somebody in the stick and doesn't get there. Bailey sends it around behind the net. Oh, now I'm in trouble. They put Bailey and Haley. Head coach Stead put Bailey and Haley on the same line. I'm in trouble. All right, here we go. Puck bounces around neutral zone. Wallace has got a chance. She carries it across the blue line. She's waiting for a little support. She carries it into the corner. Ends up behind the net. Back the other way. Still in the corner. Got some black jerseys, got some white jerseys, and finally Utah managed to get it out. And I think it's not going to have enough, so it's going to be icing. Icing is waved off. And now here comes Colorado the other way. McDonald being pursued by Charman. And Charman does slow her down, and now it's going to get picked up. Oh, there was a great chance by Hugler, but it gets picked off by Atwood. And now it's going to get sent into the Utah zone by McDonald. And Fish picks it up. Nice lead pass ahead. Oh, just out of the reach of Murphy, and so it's going to come back in neutral zone. Utah regains control of the puck. Going to send it in, bounce it in. Bailey gets pushed off the puck. Perla's going to send it around behind her own net. Puck is still in Colorado's zone, and then the puck kind of bounces. That's a weird pass. I think it was supposed to be a centering pass, and Hansen realized that the way it was bouncing, she could just like nudge it along. She might be able to deflect it enough to get it past Beerbaum, but no such luck. Beerbaum's making the save. Both lines go for changes. Very fast-paced game, especially in these opening minutes. Both teams have speed. We know they both have good stick handling skills, so like I said, I expect a pretty exciting game, tight game. And a nice wrist shot from the point by Stevenson, and Beerbaum makes another save, so we're going to have another face-off. And on the draw, Colorado wins the draw. Bonk is off to the races across the blue line on the right side. She's got support in the middle. She's got Fischelli waiting for a centering pass, and the pass doesn't quite get to her. D'Antignano wisely comes right out and just gets on top of that puck and breaks up any chance of a deflection or a tip going in. 8:53 left in the first period. Colorado with the early lead, 1-0. And Colorado controls on the draw. The pass is deflected and never makes it to the net. Or that shot is deflected and never makes it to the net. Now Raymond picks it up in the neutral zone, tries to get it up ahead to Bonk. Bonk sends it in deep. Amel Eichel behind the net, fighting for the puck with Fischelli. Finally, Bonk tries to come up with it. Now, Charman is back there. Ewald comes in to help. Fischelli's going to go chase it into the other corner. Bai's going to cut it off, and Utah comes up with it. Utah with a nice chance. Looks like that is shut. She's got room. She skates across the blue line. She goes for the centering pass. Oh, and Beerbaum wisely sticks that through, all the way through. Charman tries to get it back to Shutt. Shutt's getting tied up in the corner. She gets it back to Charman. Charman's going to have to skate hard to get to it first. She does, but Raymond's right there, and now the puck comes loose. And Nasty gets around her defender. Looks like she got around Bailey. Oh, Haley, I'm sorry, that big collision down behind the net, but no whistle. Just a couple players getting tangled up. Looks like that was Merriweather and number 9, Nasty. Oh, Colorado trying to get the puck in. Big skirmish right in front of the Utah bench. Utah comes up with it. Oh, wow. Good job by Merriweather, because that puck was not going to make it to her, so she lifted up her opponent's stick so they couldn't put a blade on it. Now here comes Bailey the other way. She sends it up ahead. Utah having trouble getting the puck out of their zone. And now here we go. It's going to be Jensen trying to get it ahead to Merriweather, but gets away from Merriweather. And we have another penalty coming up. And I'm guessing by the cheering from the Utah section, it's going to be against Colorado. And it's going to be interference, 2 minutes on number 6, Goldenberg. So Utah gets another opportunity for a power play. At 7:05 in the first period, let's see if they can convert and tie this game up. And a quick one-timer by Kistner right off the face-off, and Beerbaum makes another save. All right, Hansen with the puck. Sending, oh, Charman goes for a one-timer, but it doesn't get all of it and bounces around. Shutt is in there still trying to get to it. Now we have a delayed penalty on Colorado. Oh, I'm sorry, we have a delayed penalty on Utah, which means it's going to be offsetting penalties. So Shutt's going to go to the box for 2 minutes. And looks like the official's going to give the infraction verbally, so I get no hints from a hand signal. If Patrick was here, he'd be complaining about that. So that means that we'll have 4-on-4 for 1:44, and then Colorado for 16 seconds will have a one-player advantage. So the faceoff will be in the Utah zone. Looks like it's going to be Fischelli facing off against Hansen. And on the draw, Utah controls. Oh, interesting. So the reason we don't have a hand signal was because it was an unusual penalty. It's incidental head contact. So in other words, the, Shutt made contact with the other player's head, but it was ruled as not on purpose. But, any sort of head contact is still considered a potential injury-causing play, so she gets 2 minutes. And I don't think there is a hand signal for that one. All right, here we go. Here comes Utah the other way. Hansen gets by one, and then off to Kistner, and oh my goodness, what a save by Beerbaum, and here comes Colorado the other way. It's going to be the dangerous Bonk. She tries to reach Fischelli, but is picked off by Hansen. 52 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Puck ends up behind the net. Picked up by Hansen to Kistner. Oh, Kistner loses an edge, and unfortunately, Atwood managed to pick up the puck in the Utah zone, but then it skitters out, so Atwood's going to have to come back out. She skates back in. She's got Hairston waiting for that pass in the middle. She does a backhander. Hairston tries to send it home, but good defense and good save by Beerbaum and good defense by Utah. I mean, not Beerbaum, I'm sorry, Dantignano. Murphy skates, and now it's Utah's turn. Raymond picks it up. She tries to get a lead pass ahead, but Fish cuts it off. 7 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And now here comes Goldenberg back to join the party. So now it's 5-on-4 for another 14 seconds with Colorado having the player advantage. Fish sends it deep. Clock is winding down to the final 3 seconds, and now here comes Shutt. And Shutt joins the party. We are back to 5-on-5. Neither team managed to score during those 2 penalties. Bailey sends it up, trying to get it to Shutt. Shutt managed to deflect it. Here we go. Goes right into the waiting stick of Charman. She lets one fly. Beerbaum makes the first save. Puck gets away from her. Haley unable to keep it in. Fish tries to get a pass up to Shutt. Back to Fish. Cross-ice pass, unfortunately, to no one, but there's not going to be any icing. Colorado picks up the puck behind their own zone, their own net. That's Rose. She sends it up to Wallace. Wallace skates it across the blue line into the corner. Centering pass, wow, to Hairston. And Hairston tries to make a move around Dantignano, and Dantignano is having nothing of it. Covers up the puck, and we have a face-off in the Utah zone. Oh my goodness, and we have a penalty that I missed. It's going to be cross-checking on number 27, Eileen Eichel. She's shaking her head. We have just 1 second under 4 minutes left in the first period, and Utah's going to have to go on the penalty kill for 2 minutes. On the draw, Colorado controls. Fischelli out to Atwood. Atwood skates across the slot. Back to Fischelli. Fischelli centering pass. Bonk goes for a one-timer, but doesn't have quite enough on it. Comes back to Bonk. Skates through the circle. Behind the net to Hairston. And then out to the point, and then picked off by Utah. Here we go. Here comes Hansen. She's got room to go. She's going to skate across the blue line through the circle. She gets around one, tries to get past Beerbaum, and Beerbaum gets a stick in there. Kister's right there to try and keep the puck in, and she does. But Utah decides instead to go for a line change, so Kister is going to drop it back to Stevenson, who's going to pass it off to McCain, and then nice stretch pass to Kister. Gets around one, and that's a breakaway, folks. Oh. I was wrong. I was hoping for a breakaway. Wishful thinking. All right, so it is going to be a tripping call on number 23, Atwood, Melina Atwood of Colorado. So, 2 minutes for Atwood. We still have 1:14 left on Eileen Eichel's cross-checking call. So 4-on-4 for 1:14. This feels like deja vu. 4-on-4 for 1:14. Murphy's facing off against Ahrens in the Colorado zone. Colorado controls off the draw. Rose back up to Ahrens. Ahrens lets one fly. Miranda D'Antognano makes the save. And then now here we go the other way. Murphy's not going to get there though. Rose is going to control the puck. Murphy's checking hard though, and finally Rose gets a pass off cross ice to Nasty. Nasty tries to go for a shot, but it's offsides. Another offsides. 47 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And when that expires, Utah will have just under a minute of a player advantage. I can't do the math right now. That's not going to be my strong point. And by the time I figure it out, it'll have changed. Alrighty, so face-off just outside the Utah zone. It skitters in, picked up by Amel Eichel. Stevenson trying to get it ahead to Charman. Charman, nice little pass ahead to Shutt. Shutt skates it across the blue line through the circle. She lets one fly, saved by Beerbaum. A couple of players go down in a heap, but oh, now we have a penalty coming up. And it looks like it's going to be on a Utah player because Beerbaum was heading to the bench. Oh, okay. So we have a penalty coming up on a Utah player. I tell you, there's penalties, a lot of penalties, especially early on in this game. So looks like that is number 28 for Utah. Alex By is going to get 2 minutes for a full body check. And of course, in women's hockey, you're not allowed to have full body checks. So now we have Colorado with a 2-player advantage for 24 seconds. And then we'll go back to a 4-on-4. So, I'm sorry, not a 2-player advantage, 1-player advantage. It's 4-on-3. See, I can't count. Bonk through the circle, trying to get past her player. D'Antognano sticks the pass away. Bonk still with the puck. Now to Raymond. Raymond lets one fly through traffic, but hits people in the pads and bounces out. And now it's going to bounce all the way, slide all the way into the Colorado zone. Picked up by Rose. Rose is going to skate herself across the blue line. Into the corner, trying to get it to Bonk. Stevenson's in there breaking it up. Still breaking it up. Finally, it's going to come out. And Utah's trying to clear it out of the zone. They do, although not by as much as they wanted to. Now, finally, the puck clears. Now we're back to 4-on-4 for another 20 seconds. And then after that, when it expires, Colorado will have a player advantage. Fischelli crosses the blue line. She's got Ewald trailing. down to the last 5 seconds. And Atwood's up on her feet. She comes out and joins the party. So it is now 5-on-4 with Colorado having the player advantage. Utah ices the puck, which of course is not actually icing. And now Colorado has 39 seconds left with their player advantage. Furla tries to send it in. I'm not sure what she was doing. She's going to carry it or send it. But anyway, she loses control of the puck and it gets sent back the other way. And we are winding down this first period of play to the last 45 seconds. Wallace skates across the blue line on the left side, centering pass to Fischelli. And that puck hits somebody in the skate and bounces away. Big pile up in front of D'Antoniano, but she gets back, scrambles back up to her feet. O'Brien tries to send it in, but it's picked off by Amel Eichel, who lets one fly. Utah back to full strength, managing to kill off that penalty. Both teams back to 5-on-5. Last 9 seconds left in the first period. Colorado with a 1-goal lead. And now here we go. I don't know if she has enough time. Can she do it? Backhander. Oh, man. Eileen Eichel saw a goal all the way. She tried to backhand it over Beerbaum's glove, but Beerbaum managed to knock it down, and that is how the first period will end. Colorado leading Utah 1-0. As I said, pretty evenly matched games, although if you look at the shots on goal show Utah having more opportunities, but the score is what counts, and Utah goes into the locker room trailing by 1. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Please don't go away. We've still got the second and third period coming up this evening. All right, folks, we are back for the second period. And of course, the teams switch goals every period. So Utah is now defending the goal on your right, and they're wearing the dark away jerseys. Colorado, being the home team based on seed, is defending the goal on your left now. They're wearing the home whites. And as I mentioned, these teams have been fighting for rankings all the way through the season. Colorado was trailing Utah for quite a long time in the national rankings and managed to get ahead of Utah in time for this tournament. So they ranked at the number 2 seed. Utah was number 3 seed, and then Colorado State had been trailing Grand Canyon for quite a bit of the season and managed to finally overtake Grand Canyon in time to pick up that 4th slot. And we are off. Second period has begun. And if you look at the national rankings, again, these teams are like right next to each other. Colorado is ranked at Arizona State is at number 10 in the ACHA rankings. Colorado's at number 23, Utah at 24, Colorado State at 25, and Grand Canyon just missed the cut at 26. So 23, 24, 25, 26, they're right next to each other. Could have been any one of these teams getting that 4th slot. And Arizona State, of course, winning last year's tournament as well and qualifying to go to the Nationals. I believe that's the first time in program history for Arizona State to make the Nationals. I did not look up, I'm so sorry, I did not look up how they did at the national tournament. But they've built up a very powerful program, very impressive program in a very short amount of time. All right, down here in front of us, meanwhile here at this game, Colorado with a 1-goal lead, 1-0. And again, as I mentioned right as we closed in that first period, Utah outshooting Colorado 16 shots on goal to 7, but the one that counts is the one that goes in, and Colorado has that 1-goal lead. And now here comes Raymond. She dumps it in and goes for a change. Oh, big collision right in front of the net. That was inadvertent. Everybody looks like they're okay. 2 players crossing in front of the net and both going down. Fortunately, looks like everyone gets up in one piece. Puck is still in the Utah zone. And we've got Harris getting tangled up with Aarons. And oh, a one-timer chance by number 26, Hairston, but good defense by Utah to ride her off the puck. I think that might have been 29, Bailey. I can't quite tell from here. And this is a long possession in the Utah zone, so Utah's got to be careful that their defense doesn't break down. And sure enough, just as I mentioned that, Utah managed to get the puck, but not for long. It goes back into the corner. And now here's another chance. Oh, wow, face mask saved by D'Antoniano. That one must have made a lot of noise. So those face masks, they will protect you, but I tell you, like, if when something hard hits them, it is loud. And D'Antoniano makes another save, and this time holds onto the puck, so we're going to have a face-off. The referee just making sure that her eyeballs are still in their sockets. And we're ready to go. On the draw, Utah controls. Sends it along behind the net to Murphy. Murphy back to McCain. Oh, puck kind of bounced around, but good defense by Utah. Stevenson tries to send it up ahead, but hauled down. Smart thinking there by Nasty. She gloved it down and dropped it to her stick. Puck ends up in the corner, and she managed to keep the puck in the Utah zone. Bonk in the corner. Tries to skate by one. Then it gets picked up by Nasty. Puck gets pushed behind the net. Bonk tries to go for a wraparound. D'Antoniano has to make 2 scrambling saves in a row, and finally Utah comes up with the puck. Kistner sends it back to Hansen. Whoops, gets by her. It's going to get sent in by Ewald. Ewald now, and Hansen fighting for the puck. Kistner comes in to help. Hansen comes up with it. Hansen loses the puck, gets poked loose. Stevenson fighting with Bonk. Finally, Stevenson just turns around, whips around the boards. It's cut off by Henderson. Puck is still in the Utah zone. It hasn't cleared the Utah zone for nearly a minute. All right, Murphy with a chance, and she carries it into the Colorado zone, but not for long. It's going to come back the other way. Fischelli and Bonk enter the Utah zone, and Hansen breaks that one up. Puck is just kind of bouncing around back and forth a little bit. Not really very much of an organized rush either way. Bai sends it up to Harris. Harris turns around, bounces along the boards. Rose sends it back in, but not with a lot of oomph on it. Now Emil Eichel tries to carry it across. Stevenson sends it in deep and goes for a change. Oh, and a quick shot on goal. Looks like that was Bailey. And kind of caught Edinger sleeping for a second, but she recovered in time to make the save. Bai to Harris. Harris, ooh, nice little stretch pass to Emil Eichel. And she tries to send in a goal, but she doesn't get quite all of her blade on it, so it doesn't have a lot of oomph on it. Now we've got Shutt going down in the heap. No whistle. Wow, that sure looked like a tripping to me, but no arm. Emil Eichel lets one fly. That one goes wide. Goes over to the point. Eileen Eichel tries to pick it up. Picked off by Colorado. Now here comes Nasty. She's fighting for the puck, gets away from her, ends up in the corner. Now it's bounced around in front of the goal. Still bouncing around in front of the goal. Goldenberg tries to get it, but unable to do so. Now here comes Utah. Oops, I spoke too soon. Here comes Hairston the other way. Goes for a wraparound. One-timer in front, hits a bunch of bodies, it bounces out. Raymond lets one fly in again, hits a bunch of bodies and flies out. Hairston retrieves. She tries to skate it in. Good defense by Utah. And finally, D'Antignano is able to cover up the puck and stop the action. There were a lot of opportunities there for a tip-in, a lot of chaos happening right in front of that Utah goal. I think Utah's a little bit lucky that it didn't get tipped in. So they go for a line change, fresh legs on the ice for both teams. On the face-off. Still bouncing around, still bouncing around. Finally, Utah gets a tap on it, but O'Brien comes up with it. She lets one fly, her shot goes wide. That was a pretty wrist shot that went wide. Puck ends up in the corner. Wallace tries to get it. Bailey gets a piece of it. Back to Wallace, who goes for a centering pass, and then that pass is sticked away by D'Antignano, so Atwood couldn't get her blade on it. Bailey again tries to get it up to Merriweather. It does trickle out of the zone, and now here we go. Here comes Shutt. She gets by one. I'm sorry, not Shutt, Hugler. She gets by one, but then it bounces back the other way, and Utah's gonna have to hustle to get there first. Puck is still behind the Utah net. Finally looks like Murphy comes up with it. She shovels it ahead to Hugler. Hugler tries to get a stretch pass ahead to, whoa! To Merriweather, who loses an edge and goes down in a heap. Puck ends up deep behind the Utah zone. This is a very fast game with transitions happening really quickly. A lot of chaos going on down there on the ice. Hugler fighting for the puck right down in next to the boards. Bonk comes up with it, gets around one, gets around another. Here she goes, skates to the circle, still got one to beat. Bailey managed to slow her down. Stick stave by D'Antignano, puck ends up on the opposite side. And now here comes Utah the other way. Kister with a beautiful stretch pass to Murphy, just past her reach. It's gonna bounce behind the net. And now Hansen's gonna try and go and pick it up. And finally, Colorado comes back the other way. Looks like that's Ewald. She gives a pass to Fischelli. Fischelli's got some room. Good defense by McCain. And Colorado now one-timer by Henderson, but didn't get all of it. Henderson retrieves the rebound back into the corner to Ewald. Finally, Utah comes up with it. That looks like Hansen. Hansen's got got Murphy on the opposite side. She carries across the blue line herself, and she somehow confuses both defenders on the Colorado side. They ended up both giving up on her, thinking the other one had it. She had a chance, but her shot goes wide. Now here we go, Harris with a chance, but it hits somebody in the skate, bounces back out. Still fighting for the puck along the boards. Bai is able to keep it in. She lets one fly from the point. Stick save by Beerbaum. Puck ends up in behind the net in the Colorado zone. Ewald comes up with it. Being checked hard looks like by Bailey. And Utah managed to keep it in, sends it in deep and goes for a change. 11:58 left in the second period. Colorado with a 1-goal lead. Now Fischelli with a pass. She goes for a shot that goes up over the bar and behind the net. Puck ends up behind the net. Amel Eichel comes up with it. She's trying to fight for it, get it out along the boards. Now the puck is pinned up along the boards. A whole bunch of players in there. 3 black jerseys, 2 white jerseys. Who's going to come up with it? Finally, it pops out and goes all the way to the other side. One-time pass all the way across. Now picked up by Utah. Ellsworth tries to get it ahead to Shutt, but Shutt runs into some traffic and loses the puck. Colorado trying to make a quick transition, and here we go. Stretch pass. Can Goldenberg get there in time? Icing waved off. She's there along with Fish. And now 2 other jerseys join the party. That puck is still trapped there along the boards behind the net. And the pile kind of falls over. And finally, Ahrens comes up with the puck. Centering pass, 1 save by D'Antignano and another save. And this is what I mean by Colorado really putting some pressure on Utah. I think Utah is going to be very careful because Colorado is doing a really good job of following up on every shot and getting extra chances on the rebounds when D'Antignano is unable to control the rebound. That is a recipe for a mistake. That's a recipe for a goal against Utah if they can't get to that puck first. Colorado controls off the draw. And now here comes Utah the other way. Kistner ahead to Murphy. Murphy centering pass to Hansen. Oh, and it hits somebody in the skate and bounces away. And now here comes Colorado the other way, but Bailey's gonna get there and poke it back. Intercepted by Fish. She's got some room to skate. She's gonna try and send it ahead to Hansen. Hansen's gonna skate across the blue line. Now Fish heads to the center where she should be. Murphy comes in to help, to support. Puck ends up behind the net. O'Brien tries to send a lead pass ahead to Wallace, and it kind of bounces around, finally ends up to D'Antignano. McCain picks it up behind her own net. Nice lead pass ahead to Murphy, but it gets away from her. She's gonna have to skate hard because she's not gonna beat O'Brien. They both end up there at the same time. Puck bounces into the corner. Amel Eichel picks it up. McCain sends it in deep. Stevenson corrals the puck, sends it back behind the net. Centering pass bounces off of the other number 10, bounces off of McCloskey, and now bounces all the way out. Puck ends up behind the Colorado net, and I think that might be icing. Apologies, I took my eyes off the action on the ice for a second and looked down at my roster, and I think it's icing because they're not letting anybody change, any of the lines change. So, we are gonna come back to the Utah zone, have a face-off to the right of D'Antignano. 9:28 left of the second period. Colorado still leading 1-0. On the face-off, Utah controls. And, woo, that puck, trying to get that puck to Harris, but it bounces off of a couple stick, ends up in the netting, so we'll have a face-off back in the Utah zone. Back in the Utah zone. And since it's not icing, both lines decide to go for a change. And on the draw, Merriweather's able to get the puck and send it in deep. She's back behind the net to corral it. Jensen's back there as well, trying to keep it in, and they do. Amel Eichel keeps it in, sends it back behind the net. Hugler's gonna have to hustle to get there first. Bai gets there and tries to keep it in. And now here comes Colorado. Colorado, 19, that's Guerin to Ewald, but Ewald unable to handle the puck. Centering puck to Fischelli, gets intercepted by, looks like Amel Eichel. And now here comes Utah. Merriweather skates hard into the corner, behind the net. Oop, sends puck behind the net. Jensen trying to get it to the point. Instead, it gets picked up by Bonk. She sends it to Pichelli. Pichelli's going to come across blue line. They got to be careful. They got Aaron and Bonk in the center, and sure enough, Aaron goes for a centering pass, but it hits a skate and ends up in the corner. Colorado keeps it in. Aarons again skates it out to the point. Cross the slot. Through the circle, she goes for a pass, but it hits traffic and ends up behind the net. Merriweather trying to get it out. Unable to quite get all of her stick on it. Now Mel Eichel comes up with it behind her own net. She's got to try and outmaneuver Nasty. Oh, and there's a hit from behind, but boy, no whistle on that one either. I'm a little surprised about that one. All right, folks, here we go. Colorado pressing hard. Aarons now with an open lane, but she hits a bunch of traffic, and the puck ends up going behind the net. That lane didn't stay open for long. And now another kind of a shot on goal, but pretty wide by Goldenberg. Puck is still in the Utah zone. Colorado really doing a lot to keep possession of the puck this period, the second period. They don't have as many shots on goal, but they definitely have the advantage in terms of time of possession. Oh, and a little bit of mistake there, a rare mistake by Amel Eichel. She's trying to clear the puck out of the zone and does a little bit of a 360 turn, but leaves the puck behind. And D'Antoniano has to make a quick save. And we will have a line change. So, in the face-off circle, it'll be Charman for Utah and Atwood for Colorado. In the Utah zone to the left of D'Antoniano, Utah controls off the draw, and immediately they send it around the boards. And Shutt is able to get around one. She's got plenty of support in the middle. She carries across the blue line, gets around one, gets around two, goes for a shot. Glove save is bobbled by Beerbaum. Utah keeps it in. Stevenson bounces it into the corner. Charman's there to chase it. And now here comes Colorado the other way. Stevenson cuts it off in the neutral zone, flings it back in on goal. Now picked up by O'Brien. She's going to try and shovel it up ahead, and Utah unable to keep it in. And now here comes Hairston with a chance. She goes and cross-ice pass. Beautiful cross-ice pass to Wallace, but Wallace's wrist shot goes wide. Puck is still behind the net. Utah's net, and now here comes Utah the other way. Cross-ice pass, oh, and gets it all the way through to Shutt, but I think Shutt did get a piece of it, so no icing. Furla trying to get it around. Sends behind the net to McDonald. And now it's intercepted by Hansen. Hansen's going to come across. I'm sorry, not Hansen, by Guerin. Guerin sends it in deep. Oh, we have a big collision down behind the net, and it's going to be a penalty on Utah. Oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be a penalty on Colorado. And so Utah now trying to keep possession of the puck as D'Antoniano heads to the bench, which gives Utah a player advantage on the ice. Nice lead pass ahead to Harris. She carries across the blue line. She's got Kistner trailing. That shot goes wide. Utah maintains control. Another shot, and Beerbaum hangs on to it. So at 5:40 left in the second period, with Colorado leading by 1 goal, Utah now gets a very important power play opportunity. And it looks like it'll be number 10 of Colorado, Elena McCluskey, excuse me, got the first name right and then screwed up the second name. And I did not see the signal. I'm going to wait for the announcer, but it is just a 2-minute minor. Utah goes on the power play. It looks like the power play line is going to be Bailey, By, Murphy, Hansen, and I can't quite see the person across from me. And the penalty kill line for Colorado is going to be Bonk, Ewald, Rose, and looks like Furla on the far side. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Raymond on the far side, which makes sense. And Colorado controls the puck in their own zone, trying to get it out, of course. By able to keep it in. Picked up by Bailey. Bailey gets around one, goes for the backhander, and Beerbaum follows her all the way. Beerbaum does a terrific job of following and tracking and shutting down Bailey's attack. So we're going to have another face-off. I'm sorry, Haley's attack. Number 25, Haley. Cassie Haley. I am so sorry to the Bailey and Haley families. It's really tough for me up here. All right, here we go. On the face-off. Colorado controls, tries to get it up through out of the zone, and they do. It's gonna trickle all the way to the other end. It's gonna be chased down by Murphy. Oh! That was an interesting play. I think Murphy was thinking to get it all the way across, but it's almost like she passed it to D'Antognano, which is kind of a weird play. Maybe she just really wanted a line change. Anyway, D'Antognano did not seem as surprised about that pass as I was, so maybe she was expecting it. All right, here we go. Face-off in the Utah zone. Utah controls. Hansen to Charman. Charman's got room to skate. She sends it off to Shutt. Now Shutt to Murphy. Murphy's gonna skate it behind the net. She's got a whole bunch of black jerseys in front if she wants it. 1:20 left of the power play for Utah. Hansen, oh, tries to get it off to Murphy. Back to Hansen. And now we have a penalty in front of the goal. Looks like it's gonna be cross-checking, and I have a feeling it's gonna be against Utah, unfortunately. And indeed it will be cross-checking on number 16 of Utah. So we have offsetting penalties, 4-on-4 for 1:10, and then Colorado will have a player advantage for 50 seconds, 50 more seconds after that. 4:49 in the second period, Colorado still leading Utah 1-0. So the face-off in the Utah zone will be Atwood facing off against Hansen. And Utah controls on the draw by getting checked hard by Atwood. Puck is still kind of bouncing around, and Atwood comes up with it. She goes for a backhander. Oh man, she goes for a backhander and beats D'Antognano. I think D'Antognano got a piece of it, but she wasn't quite squared up enough, so the puck glanced off her chest and then trickled in behind her into the goal. So on the 4-on-4, Colorado scores their second goal of the game. They now lead 2-0 at 4:39. And this is the thing I was a little nervous about earlier in the period, which is Utah seems to give Colorado a lot of extra chances at scoring a goal. So not the ideal situation you want. All right, so here we go. Still 4-on-4 for 1:41. Utah goes for a shot, goes high off the glass. And now here comes Colorado, another shot. This time it was Wallace. And D'Antognano makes the glove save, so they blow the whistle. And of course, with Arizona State being the one everyone's chasing, all the teams playing, it's to get to Sunday, they can't lose any games. So whoever makes it to Sunday is gonna have to win all their games and then hopefully win on the tiebreaker. One loss at this point and you're not gonna make it to the Sunday game. So here we go with the two teams still playing 4-on-4. And now the puck ends up deep in the Colorado zone. Bonk out to Sandstra. Back to Bonk. And now it's gonna get picked up by Fish. Fish to McCain. Kane back to Fish. She's gonna have to hustle. And here comes McCloskey. And now a shorthanded chance by Charman, and she just buries it. So shorthanded goal by Utah. That goal by, I'm sorry, not 5, but number 8. Apologies again, number 8, Molly Murphy, brings Utah within 1 on that shorthanded goal at 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second period. Now Utah still has to kill off 41 seconds of this penalty, so they have to make sure they aren't caught napping because there's still a player down. And on the draw, we still have some jostling going on at the circle. And now here we are. Here comes Wallace again. She gets ridden into the corner. Nasty from the point, from the circle. Her shot goes wide. Puck is still bouncing around behind the net. Nasty recovers in the corner. Back to Aarons. And now out to O'Brien. Back to Nasty. Nasty goes and lets one fly, hits somebody in the shin guards and bounces right back out. And good job, great job by Hansen to skate that, or sorry, by Fish. Nope, it is Hansen. Skated out. And now picked up by Kistner. Kistner's got some room. She's going to skate by one, skate by two, and oh, great pad save by Beerbaum. Both teams back to 5-on-5 now with 2 minutes, 35 seconds left in the second period. Utah now trailing by one. Shutt trying to get the puck out of the zone. Ends up back in the corner. Steele in the corner. Furla's back there. Mel Eichel's back there. Harris goes in to help. Now it comes loose finally. Bailey's going to pick it up. Back to Bai. And then to Harris. Harris trying to get it by her player. Still kind of bouncing around. Finally up to Hansen. Hansen controls. And then decides to turn around to give herself a little more room. Mel Eichel now sends it around behind the net. Up to Harris. Harris drops it to Bai. Bai is still struggling to control the puck. It's still bouncing around a lot. Finally, it squirts out. It's going to get picked up now by Bailey. Bailey gets around, tries to get around McCloskey. And now here we go, off to the races. Hansen carries across the blue line. She's got Harris waiting in the center. She's also got Bailey trailing. And now Colorado picks up the puck. And now Bonk comes the other way. She tries to give a lead off to Furla, but it's picked off by Fish. Puck is still being tied up in the next to the boards by the corner. Finally picked up by Bonk. Tries to go for a centering pass, but it's poked loose. McDonald goes for a one-timer that goes wide. We've got 1 minute left in the second period. And now Ewald with a chance. And great save by Antoniano. The rebound gets away from her. Finally scooped out and helped by Charman. Charman's got some room, so she's going to skate across the blue line. Tries to get around one, unable to do it. Puck ends up in the corner. Shutt comes up with it, skates behind the net. Sends it back to Charman, who loses the handle on it because she's got Ewald checking her. Shutt again in the corner. She's got two black jerseys in the center. Oh, and that centering pass gets all the way through. Another centering pass. One-timer by Bailey. Sorry, one-timer by Haley. And Beerbaum covers it up. We've just got 10 seconds left in the second period. Colorado's really picked up the pace. And it's interesting. I mean, they're still, in terms of shots on goal, they're still getting outshot by Utah, but they have definitely had more time in possession, and so it's reflected in the score. They're leading Utah 2-1. And McCain lets one fly, but she hits somebody in the shoulder pad and it bounces loose. And now here comes Colorado, hoping for a chance, but it's going to get smothered by D'Antoniano, and the clock winds down. Teams are going to go to the locker room with Colorado leading Utah by a 1-goal margin. It's been a very close game. I expect the third period to be very exciting with these two teams. And like I said, nobody can afford to lose. So don't go away. We'll be back after a short break with the third period. All right, folks, we are back for the last 20 minutes of this game. Utah trailing Colorado 2-1, and boy, I tell you, Colorado really put their foot on the gas in that second period. Shots on goal now. 27 shots on goal for Utah, 23 shots on goal for Colorado. So really picked up the pace, and now just pretty much even. But of course, the ones that count are the ones that go in. And right now, Colorado with that 1-goal advantage. Now, if you're Colorado, of course, a 1-goal advantage is not great. You'd like to have a 2-goal lead. And of course, for Utah, a 1-goal lead is not so tough that you couldn't, quickly turn things around with a tie and then, one more to lead. So tight game. And if you've been watching, it's been a fast-paced game, very physical game. 6 penalties assessed in the first period, 3 on each team. That's a lot in a women's game. I don't typically see that much. But again, these teams have played each other a lot. They're conference rivals. They're close in the standings. They were tough games when Colorado came to play Utah here in Utah. And actually, Colorado won game 1, 4-1. This was in early February, and then ended up in a 2-2 tie after 1 overtime period. And Hansen carries across the line, tries to backhand a pass into the middle, but it gets poked away. And of course, again, teams have switched goals again, so now you'll see Colorado defending the goal on your right in their home jerseys. Utah will be defending the goal on your left in their travel darks. And now here comes Colorado the other way. Ewald tries to get around 1. Puck ends up in the corner. Tries to skate it through. Centering pass goes all the way through the other side. O'Brien picks it up on the opposite side, tries to skate it behind the net. Ends up going into the corner. Whoa, and the puck ends up just missing the official behind the net. And now here comes Utah trying to get something going, but now Colorado sends it right back. Nasty sends it all the way across to Goldenberg. She's got some room. She goes for a centering pass, but it gets by Ahrens, ends up being the corner. It's going to get picked up. Oh, we got a couple of bodies going down behind the net, and yeah, we got penalties happening. Both players going in pretty hard and pretty fast into those boards. And looks like it's going to be against Utah. So Utah starts off this third period right away with a penalty against number 28 Bai. She's going to get 2 minutes. I'm assuming that's going to be tripping or roughing. I missed the hand signal, I apologize, but it is just a 2-minute minor. Utah goes on the penalty kill. Power play line for Colorado. Looks like it's Rose, O'Brien, Ahrens, Wallace, and Nasty. Penalty kill unit for Utah's Fish, McCain, and I can't quite see who everybody is, so I apologize. Oh, that's a full body check. All right, Colorado controls the puck in the Utah zone. Ahrens back out to the point. Oh, and it gets away from Nasty, and it's going to skitter all the way into the neutral zone. So O'Brien's going to scoop it up and start the play again. Rose carries across the blue line. She's got Ahrens in the center. Out to the point to Wallace. Wallace is going to skate through the circle, and instead, I thought Wallace maybe would take a shot, but instead she tries to get it out to Ewald. Ewald goes for a shot, saved by D'Antignano. Puck still in the Utah zone, 1:08 left in the penalty kill for Utah. Puck gets away from Ewald, and Utah manages to send it all the way to the other end. Beerbaum cuts it off. O'Brien picks it up, scoops around her own net. Up to Rose. Rose turns around, sends it up ahead to Hairston. And looks like we have another penalty coming up. Oh boy, it's going to be tripping. And it's going to be on Hairston of Colorado. So we have offsetting penalties. Like I said, a lot of penalties in this game. And I would say I'm not seeing dirty play. It's just a very physical game against two very competitive rivals. So 4-on-4 for 48 seconds, and then Utah goes on the advantage for 1:12. Ewald facing off against Hansen in the Colorado zone and gets away from everyone. And so Utah's going to have to chase it down. And it looks like, I think that is, I want to say that's Hugler. Anyway, puck ends up still behind the Utah net. Shutt tries to bounce around the corner. Raymond picks it up, sends it back in deep. Ewald picks it up, and then she's stopped. Stevenson tries to send behind the net. Ewald's there to get in the way. Now it goes into the corner. And now here comes Utah the other way. We got Kistner and we got Shutt across the line. Following up, I'm sorry, not Shutt, Hansen following it up. Puck ends up in the corner. And the Utah penalty is expired. By heads to the bench, and Utah now has 5 players on the ice. They've got a player advantage for another minute. Here comes Utah. Fish, stretch pass, gets ahead of Murphy and out of her reach. And it's gonna be icing. .16-13 left in this game, with Colorado having a slim 1-goal lead. And I think I said that if you lose this game, you can't get to Sunday. Well, there is a possibility of making it Sunday if Arizona, we presume Arizona will probably win both of their games. Maybe not. Utah could give them a challenge tomorrow. But should Arizona win both their games and the 3 remaining teams each split 1-1, it'll go down to that point system that I talked about, which I'm not going to even try and tangle for you folks because that's advanced math way beyond my abilities. But we will see what we will see. We won't know until, again, the last games are played on Saturday. Shutt, centering pass, gets tipped away. Bailey's gonna have to chase after it. Colorado gets there first and sends it in deep to the Utah zone. Stevenson picks it up. Sends it across to Amel Eichel. Colorado putting on a full court press, as they say, full rink press, even though our player's short. Utah trying to send it ahead. And now here comes Hairston, join the party. Both teams back to 5-on-5. Bailey fighting hard for that puck. Finally gets picked up, looks like by. She sends a shot that goes way up high. Might have been tipped anyway, ends up in the netting, so we'll have a face-off in the Colorado zone, and both teams go for full changes. And for those of you Utah fans listening in, I'd like to at least mention that the men's 1 team for Utah did qualify for national championships, so they'll be heading to St. Louis. They are having a fundraiser for that team, and so if you log on to the Utah Hockey Facebook page, you can find information about how you can help make a donation to help send them to nationals. And the men's 2 is up in Logan. Men's D2, Utah men's D2 is up in Logan, playing in the Western Regional Championship Tournament, which is a qualifier for the men's 2 in the Western region. They got in by winning the Pac-8 Championship a couple weekends ago. So now we have a face-off still. And we have a penalty on Hairston, and I did not see it because I was busy talking about something else. So 2 minutes now, Utah goes on a power play. So it sounds like that's cross-checking on Ella Hairston. So Utah controls off the draw. Hansen skates it across the slot. Out to Charman at the circle, centering pass. Oh! Good defense by number 23, Atwood, and she sends that puck all the way down to the other end of the ice. Hansen starts to break out from her own zone. Pass across to Charman, but gets picked off, and here comes, looks like that was Hatcher, but she couldn't control the puck, and it gets away from her. And now here comes Kistner the other way. Kistner drives into the circle, drives into the corner behind the net, being checked by Raymond. She gets the puck out to Murphy. I'm sorry, not Murphy, to Shutt. Back to Kistner. Kistner lets one fly. She's trying to get it to Charman. Charman backhands it across, and it goes all the way through. 55 seconds left in the Utah power play. Bai lets one fly, hits traffic, and bounces back out, so Bai goes for another one. She lets one fly from the high slot, still bouncing around. Beerbaum makes the first two saves, and finally the puck gets pushed out all the way into the Utah zone. It's going to get picked up by Murphy. Colorado goes for a change. Murphy gets tied up by McCloskey. And now here comes the puck, and now Utah with a chance. Murphy's going to carry across the blue line. She's got Shutt in the middle waiting for sorry, not Shutt. She's got Ellsworth was waiting in the middle, and now it's going to get picked up by Stevenson. 10 seconds left on the Utah power play. Lead pass gets bounced through, and that is going to do it. Hairston comes out, joins the party. Oh no, heads to the bench. Colorado back to full strength, 5-on-5 for both teams. Ewald comes out just in time to pick up the puck. She goes down in a heap, and we're going to have a penalty on Utah. That's going to be on Fish, who was trying to keep her from scoring one-on-one with the goalie. Colorado with a player advantage because, of course, Beerbaum is headed to the bench. O'Brien keeps it in. Oh, and it gets away from McDonald. It's going to skid her into the corner. Utah tries to get a stick on it. They do. And now it's Utah's turn to head to the box. So it's going to be number 10, Stevenson, 2 minutes for tripping, I'm sure. Yep, that is the call. 12 minutes, 15 seconds left in this contest. Utah desperately needs this win. They're going to be facing Arizona State tomorrow, and that's going to be a tough, tough game. They could win it, but it's going to take a lot of work and a little bit of luck. Arizona State is that good. Colorado starting the breakout from their own zone. Atwood up to Fischelli. She crosses the blue line, skates through the circle, gets by McCain. Puck ends up in the corner. Utah is able to get the puck out of the zone. And Atwood starts it again, tries to get to Fischelli. Has a little trouble controlling the puck. Now she gets to Bonk. Bonk to Ewald. Ewald's got some room. She carries across the blue line. A big slap shot goes high and off the glass. Fish taps it to Hansen. Harris is there to try and pick it up, but she isn't able to get it. O'Brien gets the pass across to Fischelli. McCain ties her up, and Utah does a good job of clearing the puck all the way out. A minute left in the penalty kill for Utah, the power play for Colorado. Fischelli taps it ahead to Nasty. Nasty skates it across the blue line. She's got Ahrens in the middle if she can get to her. Goes for the wraparound back into the circle. Drops it for O'Brien. Gets taken away, though, by Harris. Now Wallace sends it behind the net to Ahrens. Ahrens maneuvering around. 38 seconds left in the power play for Colorado. Nasty unable to control that and gets away from her, so they're going to have to come back out and regroup. Wallace back to O'Brien. Pass ahead to Nasty. Nasty's looking at Ahrens and Wallace. Wallace takes one and lets one fly from the circle. Goes wide into the corner. Wallace following up in the corner. Skates through the circle, lets another one fly. D'Antoniano makes the glove save. 12 seconds left in the Colorado power play. Both teams go for line changes. So according to the scoreboard, shots on goal are now even up, and I think that sounds about right based on what I've seen as well. 28 shots on goal for Utah, 27 shots on goal for Colorado. Puck pops out. Raymond's going to have to chase it. She's being pursued high by Murphy. Murphy's going to get there first, deep in the Colorado zone, but Raymond doesn't give up. Chases the puck into the corner. Shutt sends it back in. gets tied up and loses her stick in the process. And now Furla gets a pass across to Hatcher. Hatcher sends it in, but Fish cuts it off. She's going to skate it behind the net. Gets it out ahead to Shutt. Shutt tries to bounce pass. She was trying to get it to Harris, but Harris had already moved out of the way, moved out of position. Now Bailey tries to get a pass to Harris. She does. Harris gets by one. Oh, unable to get by the second defender. And now here comes McConnelly the other way. McCloskey the other way. Utah trying to clear the puck out of the zone, and they do. Sandstra sends it back in. And now here comes Utah with a chance. Bailey carries across the blue line. She sends one right on top of Beerbaum. Beerbaum sticks it away. Utah intercepts, but not before the puck leaves the zone. Harris sends it in deep. Bailey's gonna have to chase hard to go get it. Will she get there first? No, she doesn't. Sandstra sends it back out to McDonald. McDonald skates it up through her own zone, through the neutral zone. Drops a pass. I'm not sure if it's intentional, but she drops it to Sandstra. Now Sandstra is gonna try and get it to Fischelli. Puck is kind of bounced around a little bit. Now here comes Utah the other way. Kistner skates across the blue line. She's got Hansen, and her pass, or her shot hits a stick and bounces high off the glass. Now here comes Ewald the other way. Ewald gets tied up at the blue line. And she gets tied up at the blue line enough so that somebody else crosses the line first, so we'll have an offsides. Face off just outside the Utah zone. 8:41 in the period. Still only a 1-goal difference. Colorado leading by 1, 2-1. Plenty of time for Utah to tie it up. It's only going to take one. And of course, because this is tournament play, you can't end in a tie. So if the teams end up tied, we will decide the contest in overtime. Ooh, a little bit of a bobble there, but D'Antoniano's right on top of it, and she makes that stop. Utah is just not looking like they're able to mount a good organized offense at this point. I mean, I think Colorado dominated the offensive possession and offensive play in the second period, and Utah just wasn't able to find a counter for it. And Utah has not been able to put together an organized offense, I would say, in this third period either so far. And just as I say that, here they come. Charman across the line, gets by one. Ellsworth trying to fight for the puck, but ends up getting scooped up by Atwood. Atwood's gonna skate through the neutral zone. She dumps it into the corner where it's gonna get picked up by Amel Eichel. Eichel's gonna send it back around the net. And nice lead pass. Oh, nice lead pass to Shutt, who does get it ahead to Ellsworth. Now Ellsworth's gonna cross the blue line. Charman's on the other side. Ellsworth lets one fly, but it hits a stick, and then she goes for a centering pass and hits somebody in the shoulder pad. Fish keeps it in. It skitters in towards the goal, but Charman is unable to get her stick on it. Ellsworth's gonna end up behind the net. 7:35 left in this contest. Utah pressing hard. They need a goal to tie this contest up and keep their their tournament hopes alive. Fish keeps it in, dumps it into the corner. Rose tries to send it along the boards and out, but unable to do so. Now Bailey's gonna skate hard behind the net. Skates around, goes for a centering pass, but it gets poked into the corner, and it's gonna get intercepted by Haley, and then Nasty gets a stick on it, but Fish is there to pick up the slack. She gets a pass ahead to Harris. Gets by Harris, though. Aarons pokes it back in. A little bit of hockey ping pong going here with the puck going back and forth without anybody really having good control. Got a little bit of a tie up there with a couple of players. And now we have an icing call. So the puck's gonna come back to the Utah zone. 6 minutes, 41 seconds left in the period. And it looks like this Utah cheering section, which I'm embarrassed to say, looks like, I didn't notice, but it is a lot of the men's D2 team here to cheer on their women's one program teammates. On the face-off, Colorado controls. McDonald tries to send it in, bounces off some skates and still bouncing around. Finally, Furla sends it in back deep to Hatcher. Hatcher's trying to get loose. She's being checked hard in the back there by I believe that is one of the Eichels. Now the puck ends up bouncing into the opposite corner. O'Brien goes into the corner with Fish. Furla comes up with it. Back to McDonald. McDonald's got some room. She skates. Doesn't get a good shot off, though, and it bounces off somebody's shin guards and goes into the corner. Hatcher tries to pick it up. Back to McCloskey. McCloskey tries to come with a wraparound. She's going to get checked, though, and the puck comes loose, and it looks like it's going to be Haley picking it up. McDonald manages to keep it in. Bailey now there trying to get it out. McCloskey back, sends the puck back the other way. O'Brien tries to get to it, and now it's going to get picked up by Bonk. Bonk skates around one. She goes through the circle, looking for an opening. She ends up going into the corner. Good defense by Utah. 5 minutes, 38 seconds left in the game, and McDonald's gets a shot off, and D'Antignano has to make the save. Good heads-up play by McDonald to snag that puck when it popped loose and throw it on net. So we have line changes for both teams. I think it'll be interesting to see, too, if head coach Rodney Stead of Utah rolls the dice as we get down to like the last 2 minutes to see if he pulls the goalie to try and tie this game up. Of course, it's a risky maneuver. If it works, you got a tie game. If it doesn't work, you end up losing by, losing that 1-goal lead and making that hill even steeper. But again, it's what you do to try and stay in the game because there's no second chances in this tournament. And here we go. Puck comes whipping around all the way into the neutral zone. And a breakaway now, chance by Hansen. She's got a chance. She gets by one. It gets poked loose. Great defense there by number 27, Henderson. And now here comes Bonk the other way. She's got the potential to do the same. She is an excellent stick handler. She goes for the centering pass. Oh, and Ewald doesn't get a chance to one-time it. That puck was bouncing. She had to settle it. So her shot didn't have a lot on it, and D'Antignano makes the save. It's a nail-biter, folks. 5 minutes left in this game. Well, 5 minutes and 1 second left in this game. And in the face-off circle, it's going to be Hairston facing off against Charman in the Utah zone to the left of D'Antignano. Oh, and a shot right off the bat. Great save by D'Antignano. Colorado managed to keep the puck in the Utah zone. Haley manages to push the puck out. Norris scoops it up behind her own net. Does a quick reverse, comes back out the other side, gives it to Raymond, then picks it up herself again. Gets it ahead to Wallace. Wallace is going to skate it across the blue line. They got to be careful that they've got, she's got Atwood skating across the middle. Raymond all the way across ice to Norris. Norris one-timer, terrific save by D'Antignano. D'Antignano's been playing a terrific game, only letting in 2 shots and 30 shots on goal. Well, 29 shots on goal. Okay, not quite 30. Shots on goal even now, 29-29 for both teams. And off the face-off, puck ends up in the corner. Bounces around, picked up by Hansen. She's going to skate from her own blue zone, her own zone. Taps it up ahead to Murphy. Nice little move by Murphy. Back to Hansen, one-timer. Beerbaum makes the first save, and now here comes Colorado the other way, and we have a penalty coming up. Wow. The Utah side is not happy, and I gotta admit, I felt like that looked like 2 players just got tangled up and went down, and they're gonna call holding. That, if anything, that would have been a trip, but all right, I'm not wearing stripes. So the call is gonna be 2 minutes for holding on number 11, Hansen. 4 minutes, 2 seconds left in this game. Utah's going to have to go on the defense penalty kill now for 2 minutes. The key, of course, here, probably kind of obvious to all who's watching, is they cannot let Colorado score another goal. With only 4 minutes left, a 2-goal difference might be the nail that seals the coffin for Utah. And now here we go. Puck ends up deep in the Colorado zone. Atwood's there, Harris is there. Atwood comes out, gets it to Bonk. This is a dangerous line for Colorado. Bonk, Atwood, and Fischelli, and Ewald. Bonk carries around behind her own net, circles into the corner. 1 minute, 33 seconds left in the power play. Nice defense by Harris. Ewald, centering pass, gets all the way through and gets by Fischelli, but she keeps it in. Centering pass now to Ewald, and oh, it gets by Ewald. A rare bobble by Ewald. Now back behind the net to Hairston. Another pass, point blank, or shot, point blank by Ewald. Nice save by D'Antoniano. 1:07 left in this penalty kill. Good defense by Amel Eichel. She breaks up that centering pass, and then somebody else managed to whack it all the way down to the other end, giving Utah a chance to change lines. Now here comes Colorado. Wallace carries across the blue line, but she gets tied up. Ends up behind the net. Stevenson getting ridden hard by Ahrens, and yeah, that's gonna be a penalty. Ahrens was really riding Stevenson right into the boards. So Utah gets a break. Ahrens is gonna go sit for 2 minutes, and they're gonna call that a full body check. So with 44 seconds left on the Hansen penalty for Utah, that means 4-on-4 for that time, and then Hansen will come out, and Utah will have a 5-on-4 for 1:16 seconds. That could be a really important power play for Utah with a chance to tie this game up. So face-off in the Colorado zone to the right of Beerbaum. Both goalies having fantastic outings tonight. I have to tell you, I really believe the WWCHL has some of the best goalies in the league. Nearly all the goalies that we're seeing in this tournament have save percentages over 0.9%. Save percentages of over 0.9. Oh, and Norris is unable to handle the puck, and so it skitters out. So Colorado's come right back out and regroup, and most importantly, ticking off precious seconds off the clock. And Stevenson clears the puck out again. Norris sends it back in. Stevenson collects it again and sends it up again, bouncing it off of Wallace. Raymond sends it in deep. D'Antoniano comes out to stop it, and then picked up by Stevenson. To Haley, who gets it out to Hansen. Now Hansen's off to the races. She gets by one, centering pass to Elwood, and Elwood, her shot gets blocked by a defender, a Colorado defender. And now Utah has the player advantage for another 54 seconds. McCain collects the puck in her own zone. Stretch pass, tapped in by Murphy, goes in deep. Bailey's gonna race for it. Will she get there? She does, but she's greeted by two white jerseys. Ellsworth, I believe, keeps that in. Puck is bounced around very close to the Colorado zone. Raymond's trying to get it out. A couple of black jerseys look like that's shut, and can't quite see the other jersey. Ellsworth. And you can hear the crowd. Some are actually calling for pulling the goalie. We have 1 minute left, and D'Antoniano isn't budging. So it looks like Utah's gonna go and try and play with who they have. The clock is ticking down, and that is it for the penalty against Ahrens. So both teams back to full strength. We have just 42 seconds left in this game. Raymond dumps it in behind the net. Picked up by Bai. Time is now running out for Utah. They have a 1-goal lead, 1-goal difference to make up to tie the game. Kistner gets a chance here. She fights hard, gets it across the blue line. She's being stick-checked hard. She gets around one defender. She goes down, and we have a penalty on. It's gonna be a penalty against Colorado with 16 seconds. And they've pulled the goalie, but the problem is the clock is still running. So Utah now is playing with an extra player, trying to get that 1 goal in. 6 seconds left. Can Utah do it with the extra player? And the game is going to end. The horn sounds. Amel Eichel manages to get off one more shot. The horn sounds, and the winners of tonight's game is Colorado beating Utah 2-1. And so the winners for today's first game, first set of games in the tournament, Colorado's #2 seed beats Utah #3 seed 2-1. Arizona State, number 1 seed, beats number 4 seed Colorado State 7-0. Tomorrow's slate of games will be at 4:30. You'll have number 3 Utah playing number 1 Arizona State. And at 7:30, number 4 Colorado State playing number 2 Colorado. Should be exciting games again tomorrow. And don't forget, we have the championship game with the 2 highest seeded teams playing on the Sunday championship game. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. Please stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon right here at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex.